Hello, Rick Harsh from Corona Samstat, here to show you books that I've shown you before in preparation to describe to you. Weird little thing in my notes there. Now, one of the significant publications coming up. Um, I have, I like to do this because that's, these are the microline books that we have so far. We have more coming out soon, and maybe if my partner Zach Tanner, who takes none of the risks financially, by the way, other than the risk that he'll do work for me and not get paid. But that's, everybody has that risk these days, right? Um, Pictures of this on this bunch of books on Instagram get a lot of views. People love this view. So I want you to, start loving the books. I had, look, this is one of my all-time favorite books. Um, yeah, The Periplus of Spur Tank Road, with original art from Arkapravo Baumik. You got to start buying this book, people, assuming you're people. And this one, look at what a classy cover. My mother's cookbook. Somebody, I think the word is snarky. Somebody snarkily, um, commented on my last video. Oh yeah, I'm gonna buy your mother's cookbook. Uh, I answered, oh, really? Something along those lines. I'd like more comments. I'd like to engage with the reader, but people don't seem to be very interested if I talk about politics. So, but that should get. I think what we're witnessing is one of the worst crimes since Vietnam, and rivals maybe exceeds Vietnam in many ways. The slaughter going on in Gaza, this is just horrific, and no. October 7th was actually is arguably a legal attack with that included war crimes in the murder of civilians. So there were murdered civilians, and those acts were war crimes. But the attack itself, which I consider a prison escape, was because of the status of Palestinians, the legal status they have as a people who should not be being occupied, an unfree people. They have the illegally occupied people have the right to defy the occupation, and they shouldn't kill people when they do. But much of that was exaggerated, and well, I'll stop talking about that because people don't generally like that. Um, Here's one of my I just these books are so damn good looking. Um, Feast of the Assumption, David Vardaman. What I want to tell you about these books, they cost the same as these, €10, because they cost the same to produce. There's a lot more handwork done with these than with these, and we haven't stopped producing these yet. We just took a pause. We have one for sure coming out soon, Randall Eldon Green's book of short stories. Um, but There we go. And let's look at the lift. This is a book. You can't find this anywhere in the world, and it's the author is a very clever guy. He was, and this is a unique volume with nice. I like the photographs. on there. This one, another one by me. You better hurry because there aren't going to be many more by me. This one is a very emotional one, and I think I'm really anxious to hear what people who don't know me and read this think. You know, it's only been read by people who know me, and we're inclined to like what I write. So let's put it in the hands of the enemy or the populace. This originally the idea here, Broussard's Raging Joy's Sublime Violations, one of the great titles of 20th century work, really does a trick with Vietnam. I mean, just fantastic. But the idea was to have originally the idea was to have the mugshots, you know, and that so consider these the mugshots of many of the people in. Actually, I should see if anybody name these 9 people. That one might be Kennedy, but yeah, anybody know any of the others here? Yeah, well, okay. So these microlines are out, and the reason that they're cheaper is because they're lighter. So you can get all 6 of these, and you'll pay 10 each, but the postal price is suddenly reasonable because the postal price is at most 10 euros for all 6 of these. You could probably even add 2 more microlines and still only pay 10 euros for the post. You know, these larger ones, that's probably 10 euros to post. So 3, 6. But the next microline, I think, I haven't established this as fact with Zach, is going to be a book that's as significant as the Arlt book. It's going to be called The Nocturnal Voyager, or Nocturnal Voyager, The Poetry and Ideas, or the Ideas and Poetry, of Aldo Pellegrini. Roberto Segroff, our man in Bogota, we have 2 of them, but he's one of them, and he put together a book introducing us to this great surrealist poet from Argentina, who lived from 1903 to 1973, I believe. He was one of the original Argentinian surrealists in the early 20s. He wrote a manifesto, which Roberto Segroff kindly translated, along with poems from, I think, his first 3 poetry books, although I'm not sure if it was his first 3. I'm going through them tonight to check on the English, and there's really they're really well translated. I'll read you one. It's called Morning. All right, morning in terms of matin, morning, not in mourning. Vanquished body, slowly you rise from ruthless sleep. I like that a lot. Leaving behind the night, thick with astonished fish. I think we've all seen that. Leaving behind the night, thick with astonished fish. He didn't repeat that, I did. Deeper and deeper you step into the morning's cold indifference. That I know. We've all experienced it. Oh, the hardened flesh of things. The hours spin like tiny rats through shattered glass of impenetrable light. Your gaze, a trembling dew of wonder upon the world. Isn't that nicely put? There you stand, upright, alone. Never again will you reach yourself. Alone. You march, dazzled, toward the fleeing morning. I love that poem. And here's a blow-up of, it's going to be a microline and this is the blow up of the cover. I just wanted to print it out so you could see what one of our next dazzling covers is going to be. This is by a local writer, writer, artist, painter, drawer named Eva Drashik, and I saw that a while ago, and I said, "Can we just take a photograph of that?" And she said, "Yes, and we can use it on a book." And so that's what's coming. This to our expert in South America, Roberto Segroff, who, by the way, also has a book coming up, an extraordinary book of short stories called Decreation. That will also be a microline. It won't be before the Randall Eldon Green, um, um, Mark Douglas, and Zach Tanner's I Was a Teenage Psychonaut, which I can't wait to read that. And this one, which may be the next one because of a bit of a financial crush that occurs at the end of March every year. March is a long month, so there's more post, and that I pay that right after the 1st of March, and it's also the month of accounting, and I don't want to find out how ruthless my accountant is. I've paid her in the past immediately, and I'm hoping that I've got enough set aside right now. Then we won't be able to pay for 3 books at once. So that's why I thought, let's sneak in the Pellegrini, because according to our man in Colombia, Mr. Segroff, Dr. Segroff, maybe, it's as significant as Arlt. And he said that, our Arlt is given the entire presentation, the commentary, and so on, that this is the best extant version of Arlt that he knows of, better than what he can get in Spanish. And so when he says that this Pellegrini is as significant as the Arlt, I think that makes me happy. And I think it'll make you happy, as would Saber Guitars if they were here. But they aren't here. There's one in the other room, but we need to do a Saber commercial one day. This has been Rick Harsh of Corona Samizdat, and, when are you going to fall in love with the microline? When are you going to read this and tell me how I disgust you? When are you going to lift the lift? When? This is a new Vardaman. My God, if I was one of the customers, I would have bought this by now. Okay, my mother's cookbook. Yeah. Well, why not? This is one of the great things sitting in life, is when you run something, you can do something for your special people, like your mothers, for instance. Can take their cookbook and make it a real book with an ISBN and everything, and a beautiful cover. Sasha Muniza did the photograph, and Zach did the rest. And you can get this, and my God, I don't know why people haven't been buying this. This is, well, I guess if they read it first, they'd say, "Okay, I'll give you $5. Try that." Say, "Hey, can I have that book? Just throw it in, and if I like it, I'll pay you." Let's see. I'm willing to bargain with anybody. Take care.